All right, well, shall we get started then?
Sure thing.
All right, so I see we have a new member, Julia.
I'm going to stop share
Do you
so
wanna tell us about-
you all can introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Julia. Thanks for having me here. I got to meet a few of you at the art walk this past weekend, so that was really nice. I just signed up last minute to just help do general assistance, so it was a really nice turnout. So I was really glad to be there.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for coming out and helping.
Do you have an art background?
Yeah, so I do have an art background. I went to art college in Savannah, Georgia. I have a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts. It's in sequential art, which might be a little confusing, but it's actually in comic books and publishing. So I like to do like long format storytelling with comics.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I've always liked public art. I think like the kind of like root of public art is a bit different than like other forms of art. So I think it's just really nice with the community, because I think a lot of people in the community don't really like know all that goes into having art produced. So I think it's a good educational experience. My family's pretty creative. I have a twin sister who also does artwork. She works professionally with Universal Studios, like Harry Potter and all that. So she does a lot of like building things by hand, and I do more like pen and ink and digital art. So I just like talking about art with like lots of people, and especially kids too. Kids love comic books, so I like to do YouTube videos with my son. He likes creative storytelling, so I'm also new to Middleton pretty recently. I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I was gone in Georgia, and then I ended up coming back after moving out to Massachusetts for a while. So I'm back here in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never been to the Madison area or Middleton before. My grandma lives up in Watoma, so that's kind of like where I was at before.
Sorry, guys.
That's really cool. Well, welcome to the committee.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, are we supposed to introduce ourselves, Abby? Is that what you said?
Oh.
Okay.
That'd be good.
I guess I'll start since I'm already talking. I'm Meg. I am a graphic designer, and I've been on the arts committee. This is my 6th year. What else should I say? Is that it?
That's good.
Okay.
Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, we actually met on Saturday. My name is Michelle, and my background is more in event planning than, creating art, I guess. But I appreciate art, and have served on other arts committees, and so this is volunteering, but it's fun for me.
Great. Katie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, if the dog doesn't try and talk over me. I'm Katie Nelson, and I am an alder. I'm a city council member, and I've been on the arts committee for 3 years now, I guess. And I don't have an arts degree, but I can MacGyver whatever you need.
She's very creative.
Meg was saying, "You're so creative." And I said, "No, I can just like rig up a garbage can or whatever."
It was like multiple times. It was like anytime we had an issue, Kate was just like, "No problem, just do this." It was just like, okay. Oh yeah, it was the map holders.
The map holders had to be backwards so that the 3M holders would stay flat. Anyway, I'm glad to have you on. It's good to have you on the committee, Julia.
Thank you.
Erin, do you want to go next?
Sure. Julia, I think we talked before you actually knew about being appointed, right?
Yeah.
I sent you to the city's website because
Yep.
people don't always land on the committee that they apply for. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
thank you for that.
landed on arts. Glad to have you on.
Okay.
So we obviously, a little bit about me. Obviously saw that I'm an oil and acrylic painter on the side. Day job is at Sketchworks Architecture, so a little variation in the arts there professionally. This is my second year starting on the arts committee, and then I've done the Parks and Rec Commission before too, and Middleton Strategic Planning Committee.
And Julia, I'm Abby Atu, and I'm the planning director, and we've communicated quite a bit via email. And I've staffed the arts committee since I started with the city 15 years ago now. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's gone through a whole lot of changes over time. Initially, it was focused on really large scale installations, but because of budgetary constraints, it's kind of shifted to more community engagement and community activities. Eventually, I hope we can do both. And then we have somebody who's not a committee member, but most of us know her because she's previously worked for the city and has been involved with the arts. And Rhiannon, did you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm just popping in to continue my art committee enrichment. So I have a background doing art. Anything that has to do with art, I've done it. Whether it's community engagement, teaching art, making art, planning art, overseeing art, public art, I've touched it. So I'm here just to continue learning more about municipalities. So I had a good time working with the team in 2019 and navigating my way to make it a career.
Good to see you, Rhiannon.
Did
Nice
you
to meet
skip
you all.
Molly? Is Molly?
Oh, Molly, I didn't see your face, but you are on here, aren't you? Do you want to introduce yourself? Molly is a committee member as well.
Are you muted, Molly?
I'm going to ask you to unmute, Molly.
I just came to the meeting tonight because I was afraid you weren't going to have a quorum, and I will be kind of quiet. I just got out of the hospital a couple 2 days ago, and I was staying with my family, and today I'm back in my home. Where if people want to walk by, it's 1724 Parmenter, and the tulips are still in bloom, fading.
Thanks, Molly. If you need anything, let us know.
I'm covered. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have to approve the minutes. Michelle,
Yes,
you skipped that.
I did. You're right. I'm sorry. Does anyone have any comments or questions about last month's minutes?
I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second them. This is Katie.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And we already welcomed Julia, so we'll go on to the next thing, which is electing a chair.
And this is on the agenda because after the mayor makes his new committee appointments, each year we annually elect a chair and a vice chair for every city committee. Our current chair is Michelle Phillips, and our current vice chair is Meg McCombs. So I think we
So
just
with
need a nomination.
I'm happy to continue vice chairing, if that is helpful.
And I'll continue as chair also if,
Unless somebody else really wants the position. Aaron, you want the position?
I would move to keep it as it is and make a motion for Michelle as chair and Meg as vice chair, or do I need to do those separately?
You can do them together.
Okay, sequential.
I will wholeheartedly second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So Meg, we shall continue on with our duties for
Yes,
another year.
yes.
Okay. So then the next thing is art walk update. And we were kind of talking about it a little bit before the meeting started, but and we've been emailing, the working group has been emailing back and forth. So it went just about as well as I think it could have gone. We had some glitches in the morning, getting the artists set up, the ones that were there like at or before 6. But aside from that, I mean, really everything else went pretty well, I think. It was just minor things. We had one car parked on the street. The bus was driving down the closed street at one point, the city bus. So the morning got off to kind of a rough start. But the rest of the day was great. I think we got lots of positive feedback from artists and visitors and the musicians. You know, the visitors, I think everybody did a great job, and I am so grateful for everybody that came out and volunteered and helped us, because you know, it's just been the 4 of us, Abby, Meg, and Aaron and I, planning this since last December. And I think really going forward, what we need is a bigger working group, and to engage volunteers maybe a little bit earlier and try to get more volunteers. But what do you guys think? We want to add?
Well, Meg, you were stretched so thin.
Did I seem stretched? Sorry.
No, you
Definitely by the end of the day, I was like, oh, I'm so done.
no, but even in the beginning of the day, you were like, I cannot do this. Here, I can't do this every year. It's too much.
It was a lot. I mean,
is
like
a
the
lot.
planning and stuff like that, it was a lot. So
It
I've
was-
already told everyone that next time I'm gonna let somebody else do the lead.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer at the event, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay to rotate through.
yeah.
and I mean, this is what, only the second year of this, so I will say all around, I mean, to get that feedback that we've gotten from artists and how happy they are, as someone who's done well over 100 shows myself, like that says a lot, that you got positive feedback and not, you know, even one negative email that I know of yet. So I will say also that we had a lot of brand new artists, like their first show, even if they have been doing art
Yeah.
for a while. So that says a lot too, that, you know, that's always going to add a little bit to the chaos of the setup, because they're nervous and they don't know how to do it. But I think that we're in a good position moving
Mhm.
forward for next year. I can take a
Mhm.
bigger role with planning next year, because I won't be doing Middleton Chamber celebration and cookie season and half pint and everything else at the same time, that Meg really stepped up for, to cover a lot of the things in the last few weeks. So, and we've learned a lot of lessons, right? Whether it
Yeah.
was at the event or in the planning process, that will help things go smoother next time around for artists, for planning, for volunteers. So
Mhm.
it went great.
Yeah, it should definitely be easier, I think, next year, but if I were to make a recommendation to the committee, I would say hire somebody next time to kind of run the show, like Rhiannon. Yeah. You for
Yeah,
hire.
we
Rhiannon?
definitely should have
It
a
was
full-time
like,
person.
I think I was
Excellent.
telling Katie this last time, that when Rhiannon did it, I helped, but she took a lot of the brunt of it. And I probably donated like maybe like 30 to 40 hours last time. And this time I was probably close to 100. Like it was a lot of hours. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely recommend, I don't know if you guys will have a city event planner by then or what, but hire somebody to run the show, because I just think as the arts committee as a whole, we need to get more to that point where we are paying other artists to run the show. Like even with the youth center, we need to be more of a facilitator versus like putting the show on. So that would be my recommendation.
I think we should at least have a part-time person. I'm willing to work on this again next year. But I do think that, especially with the planning prior to, like, there's a lot of little details to iron out, you know, and so I think that would be really beneficial to us. I want to add too, that this is the first time that we've done this show in this format. And so this was actually more like just starting over again.
Right.
Yeah, totally. I will share a couple of comments that we got. I just pulled up the spreadsheet. We actually have a lot of notes. So if anyone ever needs to go look at it, we can share the spreadsheet. But somebody suggested changing the name to Art Fair because they didn't know what an art walk was. So that could be something you might want to consider, like changing it to Middleton Art Fair instead, if the format's going to change the same or stay the same. And then one of the big things I think to consider is we didn't really cross-reference calendars this time. We just picked a date based on the last time we had the event. And this time it conflicted with UW graduation. So we lost a lot of people to that. And even a lot of volunteers, like Megan Mackey would have volunteered, but she was at her son's graduation.
Same with
So
Bruce Bachmeyer.
yeah. So next time you might want to consider doing it the next weekend, but still cross-reference calendars to make sure there's not UW graduation or another art fair or whatever. Because I know last time when we did the art walk, we did cross-reference calendars pretty thoroughly.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I guess those are probably the two biggest things, and more signage, which I think somebody already said. So we needed to have signage like downtown Middleton directing people where to walk, but then also almost like what I picture as like a garage sale or like an open house, like signage when you get off the Beltline on Greenway, directing you to Terrace Avenue. Like we should have spread it, a sign maybe on the corner of University and Park, like art fair this way, because people didn't really know where they were going or what it was. So, and with years that will get better.
Yeah. And I'll just add to it that I think that things like hiring an event coordinator would be easy if we started, again, the process earlier. There's more time for donations that way. It's not as rushed. So, I mean, I'm really getting nitpicky at this point to find things because I think it went phenomenal, but I know we were kind of rushed at the end for like donations and things. So definitely something we can hook people for the future.
Do you guys want me to share the survey results so far?
Sure.
So the survey's deadline is not until tomorrow, but we sent it out to all of the artists and we've gotten 17 responses from artists. And then we have a separate one for demo artists. So the first question is, how would you rate your experience? And 70% said excellent, 30% said good. On average, how many items were sold at your booth during the 6-hour period? The last time we did this survey, we had grouped 0 to 10 together, but I was worried about some of the artists that have like the larger pieces. Maybe if they sell one, like that's a success. So I broke it down a little further, but none of them fell into the 0 to 1 category. Nearly 30% in 2 to 10. And then you can see most fell into this 11 to 25 pieces. That's, I think, amazing. So you can kind of see that. I won't belabor it. And then we asked the question, unlike the 2022 event, which was held on a downtown street outdoors, the 2019 event was held in individual businesses. Which format do you prefer? And 70% preferred street outdoors. And then I'll get to the comments here in a second. I had to export those separately because we don't pay for our SurveyMonkey subscription, so they don't make it super easy to export the comments together, but I'll show you those. Adjustments to the time period. I wish I would have had one response that just said keep it the same, because I think if people liked it, they were answering the other category. So most people liked the time period the way that it is. And then 100% would want to take place in future events. That's great. And then we asked this question about whether people had been to downtown Middleton prior to the event. And almost 20% had never even been to downtown Middleton. I think that I thought was good information to share with Visit Middleton and also the CDA, who were major sponsors to the event. And this question was on the previous survey. It might look familiar to Rhiannon because I think she wrote the last survey. So this is the same format. And then other feedback, which is in the comments document. So guys. Okay. So on question 1, this was just about overall experience. You can see wonderful, great weather, terrific sales, well organized, good traffic, loved it. One person said best managed I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
I will tell
Yes.
you that.
Because
I
Meg and I
told you
were
guys
stressing out.
No, I will tell you guys this, like, I am saying that is one of the best that I have ever been to as an artist. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I helped organize it. Like, really, it went really smoothly.
The woman who did the enamel jewelry, she said to me, I've been to many art fairs and done many of them. This is the best organized show I've ever done.
That's amazing. Good work. And then on question 2, which is items sold, somebody says lots of prints, cards, and 2 large paintings, excellent sales from large canvases to greeting cards. Question 3, which was about where to hold the event. Somebody suggested more artists are needed. The street should be full from the brewery all the way to Parmenter. That would be amazing. Somebody said more inclusive and interactive, and the weather was great.
Well, we'll take credit for the weather, right?
Yeah. And then I actually spoke with this artist, and she strongly prefers an indoor show. She said she was really stressful. It was stressful for her having to set up the day of, and then the unpredictability of the weather was hard. And then adjustments to the time period, no change, just perfect. Time was fine. 8 hours and a 2-day, perhaps go until 5. The artists need to be able to set up earlier by 5 a.m. Says there was a lull between 12 and 2. After the show set up, it is no problem to have it for 2 days. 2 days gives the public more chances to visit, etc. And then on question 5 about future events, somebody said it was an honor to participate in the art fair. On the question about had you been to downtown Middleton, somebody says thanks for supporting the local artists. The weather was great. Overall, I had a great time. Wish it was longer. 5 stars. Some elderly buyers expressed concern about designated parking being too far away. I love the idea of golf cart shuttles or using the trolley to get people, especially if they're mobility impaired, to the event. The trolley wouldn't work for that because I don't think it has wheelchair lift.
It does. We
Does
checked.
it? Oh yeah.
Mari said we can't use the trolley, so that's off the table.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
said
We
it
would
cannot deter from its normal route. So we'd have to hire another one
and it was deterring from its normal route because it was going in front of my house because the street was like coming down Parmenter Street. I kept seeing it go by and I'm like, well, this is weird. Okay. So, and then somebody says something about the heat. It was still well organized. Somebody mentioned the trash bins, which we kind of talked about. Having the art walk in the library was helpful. I totally agree. So every time I went by that case, there was somebody standing there looking at it. I think that was just such a great free advertisement. Kids like the chalk, appreciated the volunteers, definitely invite the Romeos back, love them. Somebody heard the advertising on the radio, that's great. More hours and 2-day event to decide to buy the pieces, so have some time to think about it. More signs, and somebody wants to hire the team.
Awesome.
There you go, Meg. It's your side gig.
You can give up graphic design, be an event planner.
No amount of money is going to bring Meg back to this. Okay, and then just real quick, the demo was a lot shorter because we got 5 responses for demo artists. We didn't have as many. We did get 1 who responded neutral, and then we had 2 good and 2 excellent. And then again, there were differing sales. That comment that's down there in purple is demo. It just says demo artist. So I guess that I know that some of them didn't sell their stuff.
Like
They all
the chalk,
100%. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
like the chalk artist.
Yes, I don't think that either one of the chalk artists had, well, you tell me.
Yeah, Melanie did have a little setup, like a little table, but Ross did not, and neither did Terry, the glass blower.
Okay. Yeah. and
Triangular Door told me he sold 3 of his pieces, so I think he was pretty happy.
That's great.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
of the demo artists preferred the street. And I'll send out
Sorry
this as a final copy to FYI. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Lindsay said that, like, her comment, I know she had like little painting kits for sale, but none of her stuff was actually for sale. And I know that she would have opted for like a tent for some shade cover next time with doing the caricatures.
I thought
Okay.
she had one. She had one at Good Neighbor.
I
She
think
said-
they might have provided that one, a Good Neighbor.
Yeah, I think so.
But in the future, you really should steer away from providing tables and chairs and tents to the artists. They need to bring their own
Yes.
stuff. That was part of the main stress of the morning, is getting tables and chairs where they needed, and they were heavy.
Yeah.
Like
They're
the
very
chairs
heavy.
were insane, and we even had Michelle's cart to load them on, and it was still like incredibly hard to lift them. So,
The chairs were very heavy too. Meg and I were expecting like plastic folding chairs, and so we were putting those on the cart and pushing those down the street as well.
Can you guys help me lobby the city council to get some that aren't so heavy? Because I feel like we literally lug those things around all over town all the time, and they are so heavy. I totally agree with you.
Oh,
I'll
Abby, you
lobby
tell
for
me
that, but I
where to
still
be.
think we shouldn't provide them next time, because one of the artists was mad because the tables she needed were not on the spreadsheet, and we didn't have enough tables. And then Meg contacted Maria, and she brought a table of her own. So
Was it Simona?
yes,
Oh, I thought.
we ended up having enough tables. Marie
we
didn't
worked
have
it out.
Yeah,
but
'cause we
she
sent
was
2
upset.
extra for her. There were 8 on the list, and I added 2 extra, so we would have 10.
Yeah, we did have enough tables. It was hard to tell at the time because they had the way that they had stacked them. But maybe in the application, it needs to state clearly that they have to provide their own table setup, everything. It just
Yeah.
needs to be like completely spelled out.
Yeah, not
Totally
for
agree.
artists. Like, it makes sense for like Visit Middleton and like, you know, for their area, but yeah. I've never been to an art show where they provide you anything but a chalk outline and a number.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I thought we only had 9 tables. I thought we
No,
were,
there were 2 tables, but they were on top of those like city ones that wouldn't fold. So it looked
Oh.
like it was all one, but they were plastic ones sitting on top of it, so there were
I see.
extra. Mhm.
well, it was stressful nonetheless, and I agree with Meg that we should not be providing that next time. It's one thing maybe if we're gonna provide a table for tourism, if we're sharing their space, because we were sharing their space.
Yeah.
So something like that maybe, but definitely, I think everybody needs to provide their own stuff and their own tents too.
Mhm.
Totally agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, the morning was probably the most stressful because like artists were yelling at us because they were there like before 6 looking for their spot, and we didn't have it chalked yet. And so we're like frantically chalking and measuring. It's just like, oh gosh.
And trying to get everybody organized. Meg was talking, I was answering questions and running back and forth, trying to get people, to their spots and help set up, and trying to get rid of the car that was on the street. And yes, a couple of the artists were pretty
Mad.
volatile.
Well, they must have settled down by the time they responded to their survey.
Yeah.
I guess so. Oh goodness.
Yeah, when I was taking photos between 2 and 4, I asked for permission to take photos of the different booths, and then well, I didn't ask Aaron permission. But anyway, I asked everybody how the day was going and if they felt like it was worthwhile, and every single one thought it was definitely worthwhile.
Mhm.
And I considered that like, you had to have sold stuff to make it worth all the setup and hassle and everything. So
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I was
Anyway.
in the. Oh, I was just gonna add. Sorry, Katie. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just gonna add that I was sitting at the volunteer table in the afternoon, off and on, and I saw a lot of canvases going out. I was really stunned, and big things like quilts, and the weaver sold a couple of rugs, and I was just astounded at the amount of art people were buying. And I don't know if it's because there haven't been a lot of events like this, or if people have been saving their money during the pandemic and they have more money, or they want to fix up their homes, make them put artwork on the walls. But whatever it was, it seemed like everybody did pretty well.
Yeah. I think it was Marin Massey. She sold like everything. Like her whole entire tent was empty at that time.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Good day. Yeah. Maybe that was one of the ones that packed up early. Erin said that there were a couple artists that packed up early and left. So.
Yeah, I mean, I sold 3 pieces, which is an excellent day for me, or an excellent show, even with a 2-day show. So saying a lot in 6 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Erin, you still have some of those prints that you did of the zebra?
I have all of them. Oddly, none of the zebra prints sold.
Oh, no kidding.
And the zebra painting did not sell either. So it's back in the library now.
All right. I may need to contact you. Okay, sorry.
Should we move on, Michelle?
Yeah, I think so. Does anyone
Okay.
else have anything to say?
Rhiannon has her hand raised.
Okay, Rhiannon.
Yeah, I think I was trying to find out what's the difference between the 2019 and this show. Was it on the street? Is that the difference? Not inside the businesses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically like a street fair?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we did that because we weren't, well, for one, the Stonehorse Green is under construction now, so we couldn't really do anything there, but also because we weren't sure where we'd be with the pandemic. We didn't know if people would want to be indoors and if there was a new variant, et cetera. So we just decided to kind of foolproof it by putting it outdoors.
And artists had to bring their own booths, or did you guys provide it?
They brought their own, with the exception
Okay.
of one. We gave a tent to one gentleman who had, I think it was his first show.
Okay, yeah, big. I wasn't able to be that weekend. So,
I wasn't
yeah.
either, Rhiannon. I was sick. It was very sad after all the hard work. I had to miss it.
It was. We
man.
were sad for you.
Yeah, we're sad for you.
But I got my triangular door, so I'm happy.
I want to say congrats to you guys. I know it's not easy to take it from a spreadsheet that I had and taking it into a different dimension.
Well, we used your spreadsheet, so we just saved it as a new one and revised it, and it was great.
Thank you.
I'm a part of the Art Fair After Square. I'm the volunteer director, so we'll be doing the major one in July.
Can't wait.
So, whew.
Rhiannon, you should apply for the event planner job that the city has open.
I didn't see it.
It's
Yeah, I have
posted
to-
on the website, Rhiannon.
Okay, I'll take a look at it because I have a lot of different interviews coming in. And I was like, which one do I say yes to?
This one is 15 to 20 hours a week, but it's year round.
Okay,
Oh,
That's nice.
and it's just supporting the different departments with whatever programming they want.
Yes, all focused around downtown events.
Okay.
Hi, Rihanna. Hi, everyone. This is Sonali.
Hi, Sonali.
Sonali.
Hi. Is Rihanna joining the committee? I know her from Manat School.
Oh, hi, Sonali.
She was previously employed by the city to run the 2019 art walk, and she's just coming back to hear how things went and check in with us.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to all of those comments, and I myself was there with my daughter, and I think a lot of artists was very appreciative, and they were saying, "I hope you keep doing these things," and everyone was, more appreciative of the opportunity they got, and I'm sure some of them had good sales too.
Yep.
I was saying before you came on that your daughter and Meg's daughter and Kendra's daughter were all helpful volunteering at the art walk.
Yeah, I'm glad she could join. And actually, I initially thought she'd be bored, but she enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. Well, I appreciate you helping out. All right, any other comments about Art Walk? Shall we move on then to utility art boxes?
Yep. We're not going to go over the submittals for this project tonight. We received about 40 different pieces submitted from 10 different artists, but 4 of the artists are committee members. And so we're going to need to find a time that the remaining 6 committee members can all be present in attendance in order to get a quorum to go over the submissions, because the 4 people who submitted can't be involved with the selection. So I'm going to send out a separate doodle poll to find a time that works for everybody.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add, Abby? Or
the submissions that we got are amazing.
oh, good.
That's the only thing that I will say. They are so good. I'm like very, very, very excited about the project.
Good. That's good news.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else on that, let's go ahead and move to the youth scholarships. So last time we voted to do 2 $500 scholarships. The high school, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe last night they had their awards ceremony and awarded all of the scholarships. They were very excited that we wanted to participate. They will contact us next year. We are not obligated to participate again next year if we don't want to. It's a year-by-year thing, but I did check the box as ongoing, because if you don't, then they don't contact you the next year. So this is something that we'll have to vote on every year.
Okay, and I have the scholarship. I didn't want to include it in the packet because I wasn't sure if it was appropriate, but they sent the selections over. So they selected this person who plans to go to Drexel and DePaul and study art, drama, and music. And then I can share these with you all via email, but I was like, I don't know if I want to include this in the packet because these are students' information. They also selected this person who also is looking at art, drama, music, specifically graphic design is an interest. And the student plans to attend Miami University or CU Boulder. So I thought that was cool that they sent over the application form with all the details, and I will send it out via email.
Awesome.
Oh, I guess I better pull your agenda back up, huh? Sorry.
Does anybody else have questions or comments about scholarships? I think it's pretty straightforward. All right, so Youth Center Art Project is next on the agenda. That is wrapping up. We have one more session, and then whatever we don't get done this week or this month, I will be bringing home and finishing up. I don't anticipate there'll be a lot. The kids have worked hard. They have fizzled out over the course of this. They don't want to do a long project again. We've lost them toward the end. And the case that we have the art walk stuff in at the library in July and August will have the buildings that we've been working on at the youth center. I would also mention, related to the youth center and future projects, that we will have a budget next year because of Triangular Door donating the proceeds from the paintings he made at the art walk. So we will have like around $1,200 or $1,300 for that. So that's exciting news, and we certainly appreciate him doing that. But we are looking at smaller projects next time, like tie dyeing and cartooning and clay and some smaller things that take 1 or 2 times to do.
We can try to rope Julia into a comic book class.
Oh, that's a great idea. We'll just put you to work right away.
Michelle, it was $13.50.
$13.50.
Yep, that the youth center gets.
I think that's great, considering we had like a $300 budget this year. So I think that'll really help to fund those projects.
One thing we might want to do is contact some of the artists that we've worked with. Like, it doesn't even have to be demo artists. It could just be artists that were at the art walk or previous projects that we've worked with, and see if we can get rates ahead of time, because that might take a while for next school year, and kind of get some artists lined up and figure out how the budget falls out.
Yeah, I feel like that's something, well, I worked last year with Gabrielle to kind of work out dates and, you know, when we would conduct these classes and how we would conduct them. And so, yes, I want to start earlier this year. Actually, I was communicating with her all summer long. Having said that, though, I think, yes, you're right, Meg. We kind of did a lot of things in this past year that we added on.
Yeah.
By flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
So this year, I think a lot of these things will be easier than previous years.
Yeah. Well, I brought that up because we worked with Emily Balsey on the Love Your Neighbor mural, and I've also taken a class that she's taught, and I know she does kids summer camps. So she might be a really good person to reach out to first, and she's reliable, so I know she would show up.
Well, I've been keeping a mental list of people that I'm going
to contact. Okay, well, add her to
yeah,
it, because I think she'd be a really good fit, and she has a child too. I think her daughter's in high school.
I think, yeah, well, you know, if you have ideas of people too that you would like to approach, then let me know. But I thought the kids would really love doing, because they're the same age as the interns that Maria had, and I thought they would really love doing paper making.
I don't think Maria can, though. She teaches at that time. She teaches at,
that doesn't mean we couldn't find someone else.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
I would be happy to volunteer. I mean, I can do stuff at that time too. I just wanted to, sorry to interrupt, but my phone is gonna die within the next few minutes, so I just want to make sure you know that.
Well, maybe we should move on then, because we can talk about next year's art or youth center project next time, or probably next time would be good since it'll be June. Okay, so let's move on then to summer fun. Aaron, let's do that now, because you know,
so this is in the Parks and Rec guide, if anyone got it. It's August 15th, 17th, 22nd, and 25th. So pretty much just the last Monday, Wednesdays. We're going to try to do 2 age groups, one for younger, like we did with the pop-up summer fun last year, and then one for a little bit older, trying to engage some of our middle schoolers, possibly high schoolers. I'm going to send out a sign up genus like Michelle sent out for the art walk. We would love for every arts committee member to take at least one of those dates. We will need a minimum of 3 people each day. I have some other friends, and we know we can reach out to the artists in Middleton to volunteer too. It's 9 to 11, so I'm guessing 8:30 to 11:30 as far as setup and takedown. Matt and Rebecca arranged for us to do this at Lakeview Park Shelter, so should be plenty of space for as many that want to join, which is why I'm thinking at least 3 people, just in case we need to spread out, as anyone who volunteered for the pop-up fund last summer knows you can get a rush in an hour there, and then all of a sudden you got 25 to deal with and everyone's going every which way. So be on the lookout for an email for that, for sign up. If anyone has any specific arts and crafts ideas, we approved up to $500, I believe, right, Abby, for the budget.
Yep.
We do have a lot left over from the previous, from the tree lighting and the Halloween events. So if anyone has any ideas for any age group, I also have a lot of supplies from my work as an architecture interior design firm, just samples that would otherwise get scrapped. So we can get pretty creative. But yeah, just be on the lookout for an email for that. And we'd love everyone to take a volunteer shift.
All right. So there you go, everyone. There's your next volunteer opportunity for the Arts Committee. Anybody have questions or comments about the summer fun? All right, so let's go down to number 9 and funding opportunities. And we've kind of been pushing this back because we've had so many other things going on. And I would favor holding off on major discussion about this until next month when we have less on our agenda. But the things that we are looking at is the donation button on the website, the funds from the roundabout art that we have not yet used, and then the percent for arts, which I'd really like us to try to push through. I know the timing is probably bad since the city is looking at doing a referendum, an operational referendum, but we've been working on this for a long time, and I'd like to see it like come to fruition if we can get it there, because it is attached to TIF funds, so it's not affecting the city budget per se.
Just one quick thing under this topic. Another option for getting more artwork in private development is through the city's design review process. And we recently used that because we had a request for some changes at Greenway Station, some design review changes to the exterior of their buildings. And we included a recommendation that they include some murals, some interactive murals at Greenway, and they were painted, I think, yesterday. So there are 3 new murals at Greenway Station that were painted by an artist that they hired from Northern Illinois to come up and do them. So go check them out.
Cool. Cool. All right. Anybody have anything else before we adjourn? Would someone like to make a motion?
I move that we adjourn.
Second?
I can second.
All right, Katie and Meg. All right, everybody. Well, have a good night. Enjoy the weather because it's going to get cold. That's why I'm outside. I'm like, okay, it's going to get cold again. I have to, seize the moment.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Everyone.
Thanks again
Thank
for a
you.
great weekend.
Yeah, thank you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.